Veterans Day is observed in the United States every November 11th. This day is set aside to honor Americans who have served in the military, but the day has its roots in the last days of World War I. Mr. Franco, one of our history teachers, has extensively studied World War I and how it ended on what came to be known as Armistice Day.
So the story of Armistice Day. Before I tell you the story, I got to give you a little bit of, background, because this is World War I's been going on for 4 years, 4 bloody, long years, and it's the allies of England, France, Russia, the U.S., Italy, all of the British Empire and the French Empire against Germany, Austria-Hungary, the Ottoman Empire, and later Bulgaria. The war's been going on for 4 years. People have been dying by the thousands. It's a kind of war that if you made it 200 yards and lost maybe 2,000 men in a day, it was a good day. So it's 1918, and by this point in the war, the U.S. had just finally started arriving. The Germans on their end, the Ottoman Empire has been defeated. Austria-Hungary has been defeated. So it's only the Germans against, everybody. So just to make matters worse for Germany, the imperial government is gone. And the head of the army, Ludendorff, is also gone. So Germany, they now have a democratic government, and they are trying to sue for peace. They try to ask the Americans for a peace, but the Germans cannot, they can't accept the terms. So 1918 rolls around. Well, 1918 rolls around October, things are getting worse. So in the beginning of November, the Germans finally communicate to the French and the British and the Americans, the Allies, basically, hey, we're ready to surrender. So it's November 11th. They meet at Compiègne, and it was about, I think, like 60 miles north of Paris. They meet in his train car, and it's Ferdinand Foch, representing the French government, the newly appointed Secretary of State of the Germans, and then, the Allies, the Americans are there, the British are there, and at 4 o'clock in the morning, they finally sign terms of an armistice, which armistice doesn't mean that the war is over. It just means that for now, the battle's going to stop, the ceasefire. And the ceasefire will not go into effect until 11 a.m. of that day. According to some soldiers' accounts, when the battle ends, when the war ends, there's no cheer, there's no celebration, it's just quiet. Because for 4 years, all you heard is shelling, 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 for 4 long years. And in one documentary, We Shall Not Grow Old, they interviewed British soldiers, and they talked about how a lot of soldiers just didn't know what to do with themselves when the battle ended. There's one account that a British soldier, he was in a trench, and the other side of the trench were the Germans, and then a German officer, he got on top of the trench, took off his hat, bowed, and then everyone just sunk away. So every year, the world commemorates in their own way the end of this war, the war that's supposed to end all wars.
In the British Commonwealth, Armistice Day became known as Remembrance Day, where citizens of those countries remembered armed forces members who have died on the line of duty. November 11th is marked by parades and moments of silence to honor the dead. People also wear poppies. The reason poppies are used to remember those who have given their lives in battle is because they are the flowers which grew on the battlefield after World War I ended. In the United States, after World War I, President Woodrow Wilson proclaimed November 11th as Armistice Day. We continued calling it that during the period between the world wars and immediately after. But in the mid-1950s, after the Second World War and the Korean War, President Dwight Eisenhower rededicated November 11th not only to those who had died, but to all who have served. The following is President Eisenhower's proclamation dedicating November 11th as Veterans Day. Where it has long been our custom to commemorate November 11th, the anniversary of the ending of World War I, by paying tribute to the heroes of that tragic struggle and by rededicating ourselves to the cause of peace. And on that day, let us solemnly remember the sacrifices of all those who fought so valiantly on the seas, in the air, and on foreign shores to preserve our heritage of freedom. And let us reconsecrate ourselves to that task of promoting and enduring peace, so that all their efforts shall have not been in vain. Since President Eisenhower's declaration, November 11th has been dedicated to honoring military veterans, which are persons who have served in the United States Armed Forces. Veterans Day is distinct from Memorial Day, a U.S. public holiday in May. Veterans Day celebrates the service of all U.S. military veterans, while Memorial Day honors those who had died while in military service. It has become a tradition to honor veterans for their service with parades and presidential speeches. Here are a couple of recent examples.
On this wonderful Veterans Day, I want to express the incredible gratitude of the entire American nation to the millions and millions of veterans who bravely defended our nation in uniform and the strong families whose unwavering love and support allowed you to answer the call of duty. We applaud your service, salute your sacrifice, and pay tribute to your profound patriotism and love of our country. You have earned our freedom with your strength, determination, and truly unbreakable resolve.
Today we gather once more to honor patriots who have rendered the highest service any American can offer this nation. Those who fought for our freedom and stood sentry for our security. On this hillside of solemn remembrance and in veterans' halls and in proud parades across America, we join as one people to honor a debt we can never fully repay. In the life of our nation, across every generation, there are those who stand apart. They step up, they raise their hands, they take that oath, they put on the uniform, and they put their lives on the line.
If you're looking for an appropriate way to honor a veteran in your life, or would like to contribute in a way that's meaningful to veterans everywhere, here's a couple of suggestions. Attend a Veterans Day event in your area. Not just a picnic with friends, but an honest-to-goodness parade of service for veterans. Veterans Day is also a great opportunity to fly the flag. Ask someone about their service. Some questions to get started are, what did you do in the military? How long did you serve? Why did you choose to go into the service branch you did? If you know a veteran, write a simple postcard or e-card that recognizes them on Veterans Day. If you don't know a veteran, you can look up the closest military installation and send one there. Small acts of recognizing someone's service, even anonymously, are appreciated. Thank you to all who served, and happy Veterans Day.